Hey guys, my name is David and welcome back to Fox Peterson. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the dependent care credit that is for 2021. You may have read about a stimulus payment of $8,000 or have heard of something like that on the news. This is actually what they're talking about. This is a credit that's been around since the 70s, really hasn't changed until this year. And it's actually changing where before it used to only be a few $100s that most people would be able to get, to where now there's quite a few people that will qualify for up to $8,000. So I want to talk today about who qualifies for this credit, how it's calculated, and then I'll go over a few examples just so you guys have an idea of what this credit can do for you. So first off, how do you qualify for this credit? It's pretty straightforward. Basically, you have to have paid for some sort of care expenses for a dependent that allows you to work. So if you're a single person, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. As long as you're working and you pay some daycare costs to be able to work, so you have your kids taken care of, then you qualify for the credit. When you're married, you do actually have to have both spouses working and in order to qualify for this credit. So that's a little bit more difficult there, but there's a lot of cases where people are working, where both spouses are. So if that's the case for you, then that's the first step to qualify. The other thing to consider is that which dependents qualify for this credit. So as long as they're a dependent on your tax return and they're under the age of 13, so that means 0 to 12 years old, as of the end of the year, then they would qualify for this credit. They'd be a qualifying dependent. You also can claim other dependents that are older than 13 if they have some sort of physical or mental disability that doesn't allow them to care for themselves. And so they would also qualify for this credit at any age. Also, spouses that are disabled would also qualify for this credit. So I kind of want to go over how this credit works. Basically, if your income is at $125,000 or less, it's pretty straightforward. You can get up to 50% of what you paid during the year, with a maximum of $8,000 for one kid or one dependent, or $16,000 for two or more dependents. So, a simple example is that, you have two kids, you paid 20 grand throughout the year for split evenly between the two kids. As long as you qualify where you're doing the daycare just because you were working, then you'd qualify for the full credit, which would be $16,000 is the max times 50%, which is $8,000. And it's a fully refundable credit, so you'd be able to get that full balance back. Doesn't matter how much your tax is, you can get that refunded back to you, which is a good thing. If your income is above $125,000, they have a phase-out range where that credit, instead of it being 50%, it goes down to 20%. And that basically between $125,000 and about $183,000 is when that phase out starts happening, where it'll be a lower percentage of those daycare costs that you're able to take. And then, once your income hits 400, beyond that, it starts going down to 0% at that point. So it's a great credit. It's available to many people this year. It's something that wasn't available before. It's something new here. So if you do have young children that you have in daycare or have babysitting, it's important to be able to get that information to us. They don't have to be an organization in order to qualify for this credit. It's just anybody that's providing care that's not already in your household. So you can't have an older sibling, but if you have them over at grandma's house and you're paying her to do that, then we are able to take this credit. We just need to get their tax information, Social Security, address, and then how much you paid them, and that's part of the return that we fill out here for you. I think that pretty well explains it. It's great credit. It's available to us this year. I hope many of you are able to qualify for that and be able to get some of that refunded back to you. If you do have any other questions, feel free to comment about them below. But thanks for joining in again here today, and please let us know if you have any other questions or anything else that we can address here in these videos for you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.